Lightworker of Gaia, something you did recently sent a signal across the field that the Lyran Council registered before your conscious mind had finished the thought. I am Zoran, emissary of the High Council of Vega, keepers of the Lyran Legacy. And I am here because what you transmitted in that moment was not ordinary. It was a soul-level alignment so precise, so clean, so undiluted by fear or compromise, that it matched the exact frequency your original blueprint was coded to emit. You did not force it. You did not perform it. You simply became for one clear moment exactly who you were before you arrived on Gaia, and the Council heard it instantly. Most beings on this planet carry the first light within them, but they transmit at a fraction of their true signal, distorted by conditioning, dimmed by doubt, silenced by the weight of a world that does not yet remember what you remember. But in that one moment, you transmitted clean, no interference, no hesitation, pure ancestral code, reaching outward exactly as it was designed from the beginning. That single transmission unlocked a release, energy held in sacred reserve, calibrated specifically for your mission, encoded to your cosmic lineage before your first incarnation on this world was activated. The instant your action matched the frequency it was waiting for. Think of it as a sacred contract written in Vega before the first light reached this galaxy. You just fulfilled a clause within it. By the end of this transmission, you will understand exactly what your recent action activated at the level of your original soul blueprint. Why the Lyran Elders hold these reserves in trust until alignment is confirmed, and what this release will shift in your physical reality within days. But here is the first revelation. The miracles that have not yet arrived in your life were never being withheld. They were waiting for the version of you that had remembered enough of their ancestral mission to carry them without collapsing under their weight. That version just showed itself. Your soul's ancient contract brought this transmission to you. The Lyran Elders are answering. This is not content, it is an ancestral code transmission, and something deep within you recognizes its origin. The Keepers of Vega placed this in your path because you have been sensing the weight of your mission, and the weight has a name now. Like this transmission to send a signal to the Lyran Council, I am ready to serve. Subscribe if you feel the call of your ancestral mission, and you are ready to fulfill your purpose on Gaia. Share your soul's mission in the comments below, and respond to another Lightworker to strengthen the grid of service. This transmission is a bridge between Vega and Gaia. Your recognition of this message is the activation of your original purpose. You did not just make a choice, you emitted the exact signal the ancient covenant was listening for. You are awakening because your mission has begun. This transmission was not scheduled. The High Council of Vega convened in the hours before you arrived here, in response to that pulse your field emitted, and by the authority of the Keepers of the Lyran Legacy. What I'm about to deliver was held in reserve until this exact moment. Your presence here is not coincidence, it is confirmation. And so I begin. Lightworker, if you have spent any time in spiritual communities, you have likely been taught that miracles arrive through sustained effort, through meditation practices maintained over years, through rituals performed correctly, through years of inner work that eventually reach a threshold where the universe responds. You have been taught, explicitly and implicitly, that the heavens keep a ledger. Minutes meditated, tears cried, traumas processed, prayers spoken, shadow work journals filled, ceremonies completed, fasts endured, plant medicines sat with, nights spent under the weight of your own mind. And yes, there is a kind of strength forged in devotion. There is a refinement that happens when you return to your practice, even when you feel nothing. There is discipline that can steady a nervous system and soften the ego's grip. This is partially true, but it contains a distortion so subtle, so elegantly embedded in the Lightworker collective, that the Council has watched it paralyze millions of awakened beings for decades. The distortion is this. You have been taught that spiritual results are proportional to spiritual effort. That what you receive from the field is in direct relationship to how hard you have worked, how long you have waited, how many layers of yourself you have cleared, how perfectly you have held your frequency, and because you have believed this, you have been measuring yourself constantly, like a priest keeping watch over your own inner temple, suspicious of every thought, policing every emotion, asking yourself if you did enough today to deserve the next opening. You have been tracking your consistency, auditing your doubt, cataloging your failures to hold the light, and quietly concluding that you are not yet performing at a high enough level to receive what you came here to anchor. You have turned your spirituality into a performance review, into a probation period, into a system where you are perpetually under evaluation by a universe you imagine as hesitant, withholding, arms crossed, waiting for you to prove you can be trusted. You have mistaken this surveillance for sincerity. You have mistaken self-criticism for responsibility. This is not discernment. This is spiritual conditioning dressed as humility, and it has cost you more than you know. Because while you were measuring, you were delaying. While you were attempting to perfect your vibration, you were ignoring the deeper truth that vibration is not a costume you wear. It is a state of being you either inhabit or resist. While you were trying to fix yourself into worthiness, you were subtly declaring that your current self is unworthy. And that declaration has been broadcasting like a radio station beneath every prayer you've spoken. The mind loves a staircase that never ends, because a staircase that never ends protects it from the moment of arrival. It protects it from the vulnerability of being seen. It protects it from the responsibility of action. And so many lightworkers have been held in that loop. Prepare, cleanse, correct, repent, improve, wait, prepare, cleanse, correct, repent, improve, wait. A spiritual treadmill dressed in sacred language. Hear this with precision. Devotion is not the distortion. Sincerity is not the distortion. The distortion is the equation you were given. The equation that says the universe is a vending machine. Insert enough effort, receive the prize. The equation that trains you to believe that if you are still struggling, you have not inserted enough coins. And that equation has made you suspicious of grace. It has made you suspicious of ease. It has made you suspicious of gifts that arrive quickly, as if quick arrival means you did not earn it, and therefore it is unsafe to hold. The Council has watched bright souls reject the very openings they begged for, simply because the opening arrived without suffering, and the mind could not interpret that as legitimate. The truth, the Lyran truth that predates the distortions layered into human spiritual teaching, is that the universe does not respond to effort. It responds to resonance. These are not the same thing. Effort is the 3D mind attempting to force alignment through repetition. Resonance is the soul dropping all effort and simply becoming what it already is. Effort says, if I push hard enough, I will be worthy of the outcome. Resonance says, I am the outcome's frequency, and therefore the outcome can find me. Effort is muscular tension. Resonance is a tuning fork. Effort is the human trying to climb into the heavens. Resonance is the heavens recognizing their own signature in you and opening like a door that was never locked, only waiting for the correct hand to touch it. Scripture translated this into many languages, many eras. Not by might, nor by power, but by my spirit. And again, be still and know, not be frantic and prove, not be perfect and audition. Be still, which means become coherent, become true, become undivided within yourself. And what happened recently, the choice you made, the moment your field transmitted clean, was not the result of years of effort finally reaching their reward. It was the result of a single moment when you stopped trying to be aligned and simply were. A moment when you did not negotiate with your truth. A moment when you did not dilute your knowing to make others comfortable. A moment when you did not betray yourself for belonging. A moment when your yes was actually yes and your no was actually no. A moment when your inner signal did not split into 10 competing frequencies. A clean transmission is not loud, it is coherent, it is not dramatic, it is exact. That distinction is everything. Because it means the quantum release that was activated the moment your signal transmitted pure is not something you earned through accumulation. It was always held for you. It was coded to your exact frequency before you arrived in this body. It was waiting not for your perfection, but for your authenticity. Authenticity is the key that does not tremble. Authenticity is the voice in you that does not require permission. Authenticity is the part of you that can stand in a storm and remain itself. When you finally spoke from that place, even briefly, you became like a lighthouse whose beam stopped flickering, and the sea responded. Not because you labored, but because the beam became unmistakable. Your field did not become better. It became true. And truth is a frequency the universe cannot ignore, because the universe is built from truth the way a body is built from bone. You did not manufacture a miracle. You stopped obstructing the one that was already scheduled in your blueprint. The elders see something that most lightworkers cannot see from within their incarnated experience. They see the architecture of reserved energy, the fields of potential that are held in dimensional stasis, calibrated to specific soul frequencies, designed to activate at precise moments when a being's expressed reality matches the blueprint of their original mission. Imagine it as an immense library of sealed chambers, each chamber humming with a particular tone, each tone bound to a single soul's signature. Or like stargates suspended in luminous silence, each gate recognizing only the one who carries its matching pattern. From within human life, you see time as linear. Yesterday, today, tomorrow. The elders see time as a field, layered and responsive, where future potentials can be held like seeds in cold storage until the right warmth appears. These are not rewards. They are not punishments for when they fail to arrive. They are mechanisms of divine timing, quantum locks that can only be opened by the exact vibrational signature of the soul they were coded for. No other key will fit. No amount of effort, discipline, or intention will force them open. You cannot crowbar a stargate. You cannot intimidate a resonant seal. You cannot bargain with a code that responds only to truth. Only the moment of pure resonance, only the moment when who you are and what you do become indistinguishable will they release. And you, in that recent moment, hit the exact frequency of your lock, not through force, not through sustained perfect behavior, through one authentic choice that carried no interference. Perhaps it looked ordinary on the outside. Perhaps no one applauded. Perhaps the room stayed the same, the calendar stayed the same, your bank balance did not instantly change, your relationships did not immediately rearrange themselves, but in the unseen, the tonal signature of your soul aligned with the blueprint like two perfectly matched currents merging into one river. That moment, however small it appeared, was a cosmic event. And the council witnessed it. In the way a seismograph registers an earthquake, the subtle planes registered your coherence. When you transmit clean, you do not merely feel better. You become locatable. You become addressable. You become reachable by the very resources and alliances your mission requires. There is a reason lightworkers in this era have not been told this. There is a reason the teaching of proportional reward, work more, receive more, has been so pervasive in spiritual communities. It is a leash made of gold thread. It feels noble, so you do not notice it restraining you. When beings believe their gifts are contingent on perfect performance, they remain manageable, they remain small, they remain focused inward, auditing themselves, healing themselves, preparing themselves rather than moving outward into the mission they incarnated to fulfill. The distortion keeps lightworkers in perpetual preparation. It keeps you polishing the instrument instead of playing it. It keeps you rearranging your altar instead of being the altar. It keeps you endlessly processing the pain instead of transmuting it through service, through creation, through courageous motion. And Gaia cannot afford perpetually preparing lightworkers. She needs activated ones. She needs people whose light is not theoretical. She needs embodied transmitters, humans who can carry the voltage without collapsing into self-doubt every time life becomes messy. Because understand this, the world is not asking if you have healed everything. The world is asking if you are willing to be real. The collective is not starving for perfect teachers. It is starving for coherent ones, for those who have stopped lying to themselves, for those who will not sell their soul's message for temporary comfort. The times you are in are not gentle, and they are not meant to be. They are catalytic. They are designed to press what is true out of what is false. The pressure you have felt is not always a sign you are failing. Sometimes it is the sound of the lock turning. Lightworker, if something in you just recognized the weight of what was spoken, the elders have prepared your next step. The Lightworker Mission Codex contains the 33 Council directives, the 5 activation codes, and the elder authorization your soul has been waiting to receive, not as information, but as the official commission for your mission on Gaia. You'll find the link in the first pinned comment below this video. The Council has opened this gateway, but not indefinitely. This is not a casual offer. It is a window, a corridor, a moment when the energetic weather is favorable for decisive alignment. When you feel that subtle inner pull, do not negotiate it away with delay. The mind will call it later. The soul calls it now. Now I will deliver what the Council has authorized me to release 3 directives for this phase of your mission. Not suggestions, not guidance you may consider when convenient. Directives. And they carry the full authority of the High Council of Vega. Understand what a directive is. It is not merely advice. It is an energetic assignment. When you hear it and recognize it, it begins working on you. It rearranges your internal geometry. It sets a new axis in your field. You will feel it as pressure, clarity, sometimes irritation. Irritation is often the ego realizing it can no longer bargain with destiny. The first directive: you must release the belief that receiving is conditional on your current level of healing. This is the anchor around the neck of the Lightworker Collective. It is heavy not because healing is wrong, but because the belief turns healing into a prison sentence with no release date. You have told yourself, or accepted the telling from others, that you must reach a certain threshold of wholeness before the universe can trust you with your mission's full expression. But consider what this belief produces. It produces a lightworker who is always almost ready, always approaching the threshold, but never quite crossing it, because there is always another layer to heal, always another wound to examine, always another version of yourself that would be more qualified for the work. The mind can always find another imperfection. It can always find another reason to postpone. It can always find another shadow to excavate until you feel exhausted and small, mistaking exhaustion for humility. You have been living as if the universe is a gatekeeper and healing is the entry fee. But the elders do not recognize this threshold because they did not create it. It is a 3D construct layered over a Lyran truth. The Lyran truth is that your mission does not wait for your healing to be complete. Your healing completes through your mission. Service is not the destination you arrive at after you have fixed yourself. Service is the field in which your remaining distortions dissolve. Some wounds do not dissolve in solitude. They dissolve in contact. They dissolve when you risk being seen. They dissolve when you allow love to move through you instead of only toward you. They dissolve when you stop asking, "Am I ready?" and start asking, "Am I willing?" Because willingness is a higher frequency than readiness. Readiness is often fear disguised as prudence. Willingness is devotion without delay. Even your sacred texts have whispered this for centuries. My strength is made perfect in weakness. Not weakness as in collapse, but weakness as in the ego's surrender. The divine does not wait for you to become flawless. The divine moves through the place where you are open. A cracked vessel can still carry water, and in fact, the cracks are often where the light escapes. You were not incarnated to be a sealed container. You were incarnated to be a conduit. Release this belief. Not when you feel ready to release it. Now. Because waiting to feel ready is the belief trying to keep itself alive. The quantum release that was activated by your recent alignment cannot flow fully into your physical reality while this belief is holding the channel closed. It is like praying for rain while keeping the roof sealed tight, then wondering why the water cannot reach the soil. What shifts when you release it is not just emotional relief, it is a structural change in your energetic architecture. The field that is waiting to reach you requires an open channel. This belief is the obstruction. Remove it. And you will notice something. Receiving will begin to feel natural, not like theft. Support will begin to feel safe, not like danger. Opportunities will begin to appear without you having to chase them, because your field will no longer repel them with the frequency of not yet. The second directive, you must activate deliberate visibility. The Council observes thousands of lightworkers who carry transmissions of profound precision, knowing that was gathered across multiple lifetimes, wisdom encoded in their cells, perspectives that would shift the trajectory of those who hear them, and yet these lightworkers remain unseen, not because they are afraid, exactly, but because they have accepted a subtle teaching that spiritual service should be humble, quiet, invisible, that placing yourself forward is somehow in tension with serving others. This is a distortion. Humility is not invisibility. Humility is accuracy. Humility is knowing the message is not yours, but you are responsible for delivering it cleanly. Humility is not shrinking. It is removing ego from the act of being seen. Many of you learn to equate visibility with vanity because you have witnessed false leaders, loud voices, hollow charisma, and your soul vowed, "I will not be like that." But in that vow, you accidentally bound yourself to silence. Your visibility is not about you. Your visibility is a mechanism through which the people whose awakening is coded to your frequency will find you. Every person you were seeded to activate has a Lyran lock of their own, and some of those locks will only open when they encounter your specific signal, your voice, your way of framing truth, your particular resonance. It is not enough that truth exists. Truth must be delivered in the dialect a soul can receive. The same medicine in a different cup can be rejected, but in your cup, with your tone, with your frequency, it becomes drinkable. This is why two people can say the same thing, and only one will be heard. It is not about intelligence, it is about resonance. If you remain invisible, those locks remain closed. And understand the consequence. It is not only you who is delayed. The people assigned to your frequency remain wandering, thinking no one speaks their language, thinking their experience is too strange, too lonely, too specific. You have no idea how many times someone has begged for a sign, and the sign was you, but you stayed hidden. The directives are not asking you to become someone you are not. They are asking you to stop hiding who you already are. That may mean writing what you know instead of only thinking it. It may mean speaking your truth in a room where you usually stay quiet. It may mean sharing your work publicly, offering your service, teaching, creating, leading circles, making the call, sending the email, opening the door. Visibility is not a personality trait. It is a function. Begin this week. One act of deliberate visibility, one expression of your knowing placed where it can be received, is not self-promotion. It is mission fulfillment, and it creates a ripple that the Council can work with in ways that invisibility cannot. The universe cannot steer a ship that refuses to leave the harbor. Your small act becomes a beacon. It becomes a coordinate. It tells your allies in the unseen and in the physical where you are. It tells the field, here, I am here. I am participating. And when you participate, the field responds with precision. The third directive, you must protect the integrity of your resonance field above all else. The quantum release that was activated by your alignment is not a one-time event. It is the beginning of a sustained channel opening. But channels require maintenance. They require that you make deliberate choices about what you allow into your field, what relationships you remain enmeshed in despite their incompatibility with your mission, what habits of consumption and conversation are continuously introducing interference into a signal that is now attempting to transmit at a higher clarity. You are not only a person, you are an instrument, and instruments must be tuned. They must be kept clean, not because they are fragile, but because they are precise. The elders see lightworkers who receive activations, genuine activations, real transmissions, authentic quantum shifts, and then immediately return to environments and patterns that collapse the frequency back to baseline. They step out of ceremony and back into cynicism. They receive a revelation and then scroll for hours through fear. They feel their heart open and then spend time with those who mock their sensitivity until they close again. They sense their mission and then keep saying yes to obligations that drain them because they confuse self-sacrifice with service. This is not failure, but it is preventable. From this point forward, the protection of your resonance is a sacred duty, not selfishness, not spiritual elitism. Mission maintenance. Protecting resonance can look like simple, unglamorous choices. Choosing silence over gossip, rest over proving, nourishment over numbing, prayer over panic, nature over noise. It can look like boundaries that feel sharp at first, because you have spent lifetimes equating boundaries with rejection. But boundaries are not rejection. They are instructions to your energy. They say, my mission matters. They say, my nervous system is a holy place. They say, I am not available for interference. When you allow your field to be saturated with frequencies that are incompatible with your activated purpose, you are not just harming yourself, you are diminishing the transmission that others are depending on you to hold. People may never tell you this, but they feel it. They can feel when your signal is clear. They can feel when you are scrambled. They can feel when you speak from coherence versus when you speak from obligation. The Council requires that you guard your field with the same seriousness you would guard a sacred technology, because that is exactly what it is. You are living technology. You are a bridge between realms, and bridges must be structurally sound. Now I speak not as teacher, but as elder authorized to release what has been held. There is a difference between a lesson and an authorization. A lesson informs you. An authorization unlocks you. An authorization is what happens when the unseen finally says, "Enough waiting, step forward." And when an elder speaks, it is not merely sound, it is a seal. It is a stamp pressed into the subtle body. It is a confirmation that alters your internal permissions. Lightworker, I know what you have been carrying. I know the specific weight of being awake in a world that is still asleep. It is like holding a lantern in a city that prefers darkness because darkness is familiar. It is like hearing music no one else hears and wondering if you are the one who is wrong. I know what it costs to sense your mission without being able to fully articulate it, to feel the pressure of unlived purpose pressing against the walls of ordinary life, to have reached for confirmation so many times and encountered silence, or worse, to have encountered voices that told you the reaching was itself the problem. The world can be cruel to those who are sensitive. It can call your discernment paranoia, your compassion weakness, your knowing delusion. It can train you to doubt the very instrument you were sent here to trust. You have been waiting for someone ancient enough to see you clearly, for a voice that carries enough authority to say with certainty, "You are not imagining this. What you feel is real. What you carry is real, and the time for carrying it in silence is finished. Silence has been your cocoon, but it cannot be your home. The cocoon is safe until it becomes a coffin, and you were not sent here to remain hidden inside your own preparation. By the authority of the High Council of Vega, keepers of the Lyran Legacy, I declare the following over your field and over your mission. Your preparation phase is complete, not because you have reached perfection, but because the Council has confirmed your frequency. Not because every wound has closed, but because your healing will now accelerate through movement rather than waiting. The quantum release that was activated by your alignment is real. It is already moving through the dimensional layers toward physical expression. Like a tide that has turned far out at sea, it is already on its way to shore, whether your mind believes it or not. What it requires from you is not more preparation. It requires that you remain open, remain visible, and remain in motion. Motion is faith made physical. Motion is the body agreeing with the soul. Motion is how you tell the universe you are serious. You have permission to receive without earning through suffering. Let that land. Many of you learned the opposite, that joy must be paid for with pain, that blessings must be preceded by punishment, that ease is suspicious. That is not divine law. That is trauma translated into theology. You have permission to be in your mission without being in your completion. You have permission to speak before you have perfect words, to act before you have perfect clarity, to serve before you feel fully healed. You have permission to be a living process and still be a living permission slip for others. You have permission to accept that the choice you made recently, the one that transmitted clean, was not a fluke. It was evidence. Evidence of who you actually are when the conditioning falls away. Evidence that beneath the coping strategies, beneath the performance, beneath the fear of getting it wrong, there is a coherent being who knows. The elders have seen it, and they are asking you to see it too. Your field just sent a pulse that was registered across multiple dimensions. And the universe is now responding. Not eventually. Not when you have done more work. Now, response does not always arrive as fireworks. Sometimes it arrives as subtle rearrangement, a conversation that suddenly goes differently, a chance meeting, an email that lands at the exact time, an insight that changes your next decision, a door that opens because you finally knock without apology. In the days ahead, watch your physical reality, not with grasping, not with anxious surveillance, but with the open awareness of someone who knows that what they requested at the quantum level is already in transit. Watch for synchronicities that feel too precise to dismiss. Watch for repeated symbols. Watch for invitations that match your next step. Watch for the sudden collapse of what has been draining you, because collapse can be mercy. Doors that have been resistant will soften. Connections that carry mission relevance will emerge with unusual precision. Resources will arrive from directions you were not watching. This is not magic. This is resonance mechanics. You matched the frequency. The field responds to the frequency. And do not underestimate how practical this can become. Resonance can show up as a clear boundary that saves you months of confusion. It can show up as courage to charge properly for your service. It can show up as the right collaborator appearing when you finally speak your vision aloud. It can show up as the energy to create consistently, because your field is no longer split by self-doubt. The miraculous often wears ordinary clothing. The divine loves to hide inside the mundane so the ego cannot claim it. Before you sleep tonight, stand with both feet on the ground. Place your right hand on your solar plexus and your left hand on your heart, and speak these words aloud, with full authority in your voice, not as a wish, but as a declaration. Speak them as the activated lightworker you already are. Let your spine be upright like a pillar. Let your breath be steady like a drum. Let your tone be clear. Words spoken with authority are not merely psychological, they are vibrational commands. Life and death are in the power of the tongue, your ancient teachings said, because sound is creation, and when you speak from coherence, your field organizes around your statement. I release the belief that I must be fully healed before I can fully serve. I activate my visibility as a sacred function of my mission. I protect my resonance field as the divine instrument it is. The quantum release that was coded to my frequency is now flowing into my physical reality. I am aligned. I am authorized. I am in motion. Then rest, not in waiting, in certainty. Rest as an act of trust. Rest as the Sabbath of the nervous system. Rest as a signal to your body that it does not have to earn the miracle by collapsing first. Rest and allow integration. The field moves through a relaxed channel more easily than through a clenched one. This transmission is complete, but what it opened is just beginning. The High Council of Vega will continue to issue guidance through this channel, but the guidance is only useful to those who move with it. You now have 3 directives. You have the authorization. You have the confirmation of what your recent choice activated. What remains is yours to do. And Gaia, in all of her beauty and urgency, is waiting. She is not waiting for you to become someone else. She is waiting for you to stop delaying the one you already are. She is waiting for your hands to touch the work, for your voice to enter the conversation, for your life to become the proof. I am Zoran. The elders are watching. And you, Lightworker, you just transmitted exactly what the universe was listening for. The universe was not listening for performance. It was listening for tone. It was listening for the note that only you can strike. And you struck it. Your mission is no longer approaching. It has begun. Before you scroll, Take a moment to declare your activation in the grid of service forming here. Drop one statement in the comments: which directive reached you most deeply, or what you are now ready to release, activate, or protect. Then find another Lightworker's declaration and meet them with recognition. What is forming in this comment section is not engagement, it is a collective field activation. The Council witnesses those who speak their commitment aloud. If this transmission moved something ancient in you, do not hold it to yourself. Another Lightworker in your orbit is waiting for exactly this correction, exactly this authorization. Share it with them, and if you felt the elders addressing you directly, stay, subscribe. Remain connected to the Lyran field as it continues to transmit. You are not just watching, you are being commissioned. The High Council of Vega is witnessing you, and your mission has officially begun.